Welcome back, YouTubers, to our Hell in a Cell preview slash predictions video with me, the purple shirt wearing Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me, the hoodie wearing NJ, of course, people.
What's up?
You think you look cool in that hoodie, do you?
Oh yes, very nice indeed.
Yeah. Subscribe above, like this video, and comment your thoughts going into the pay-per-view Hell in a Cell down in the comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Yes, indeed. Hell in a Cell this coming Sunday, NJ. Before we go into it, just give me your general thoughts on the Hell in a Cell concept as a pay-per-view.
If I had to make it quick, I will say this: there are some Hell in a Cell matches that have happened in the past during a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that I've liked, enjoyed, but for a concept of actual pay-per-view, it's really lacking the importance of Hell in a Cell and matches going into it. So overall, I do not like it.
Yeah, it's just like you've got one Hell in a Cell match on this gimmick pay-per-view, which is called Hell in a Cell, and that is Ryback versus Punk, a first-time match, which really doesn't I guess, warrant a Hell in a Cell because it's not ending a massive feud or anything. And that is the problem with Hell in a Cell. When it comes around at a specific point of the year, it's just like, well, you can't end the feud there. It's just that's a way of continuing in the feud. And the Hell in a Cells have always been big, massive matches done to end feuds.
And normally when you think of Hell in a Cell, you do think like WrestleMania, or just something big payoff. The fact that he's done not even close to WrestleMania, really, it's just really horrible. The WWE thought it's a creative way to have big blow-off matches, but like this example, and probably last year as well, they just don't work.
Yeah, and there's only one Hell in a Cell match this year, which is very strange. But there we go. We'll go on to the show itself now. Just before we go in, your thoughts on the build. Are you excited for Hell in a Cell, or are you just a typical filler pay-per-view? Well, we've had 6 weeks of build to this, and it kind of seems like I think 6 weeks was too much build for this pay-per-view. There's just been too much filler time.
Majority of these matches, apart from maybe 1, if not 2, were actually built up. The other ones had to be changed at the last minute, or just thought, oh, we forgot to add this match, let's add it in. So overall, this pay-per-view really does seem like a really strong filler show.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just, I don't know what it was. The build hasn't been that exciting. I think it's generally the fact because of the TV shows just have been very hard to get through lately, and the ratings have declined a lot lately, even though they did great business with WrestleMania this year and SummerSlam this year. My excitement going into Hell in a Cell, on generally off the principle of the TV shows, isn't very much. So we'll just go into the show now, and we'll give our thoughts on the matches. The pre-show, apparently, this year, we're not going to get a match for Hell in a Cell. We're going to get Cena addressing the AJ affair. I think that's going to be the first YouTube pre-show we're not going to be tuning into, isn't it, NJ?
One thing it's a fair thing is that the first thing I saw this, or as soon as I started realising this was going to happen at Hell in a Cell, was they're doing a thing like TNA did. They had the whole affair with AJ and Dixie. Now W thinking, that's interesting, let's do this, but with John Cena and AJ, the GM.
Yeah, I know, the past GM. I mean, now she's been fired from that position. So yeah, very odd thing to put in the pre-show. I guess they want to try and get people to tune in because it's John Cena, and he doesn't have a match on the card. So I guess that's their way of trying to get him on the pay-per-view without putting him on the pay-per-view. So yeah, pre-show we're just not going to be that bothered about. The US Championship match hasn't really been announced yet, but Gabriel won against Cesaro, so you must imagine that is going to happen. Again, the US Championship right now, like we said many times on the Raw and SmackDown reviews, etc., just doesn't really seem to mean that much. Even though they've got a great performer there in Claudio Castagnoli, they're not letting people care enough about this guy, are they? Giving him feuds.
That's the thing, because since he came in, I've not really cared whatsoever. Put him to a relationship with Xana didn't help. Him now, without Xana, there's nothing really going for him. Apart from he's got a belt that doesn't mean anything. And there's a match that he could have against Gabriel. It is a match. Gabriel at pay-per-view, that's the quality of it. The thing is, I'm just really not interested at all.
I mean, we saw Cesaro beat him in about 4 minutes on SmackDown. Then we see Gabriel beating Cesaro. It's just like, why couldn't you make a feud out of this? I mean, I look forward. I hope when Christian comes back, which will be hopefully soon, he has a feud with Cesaro. At least then the US Championship may mean a little bit more. But right now, it's just filler feud B, C, D for Cesaro now, isn't it?
As much as Christian coming back, I think it would help a little bit, but it would still not bring my attention anywhere close to caring about Cesaro or the US title.
Claudio Castagnoli, a great performer, but just stuck with a bit of a weird gimmick, and also they're just not doing all they can with him to make us care. There we go. Divas Championship match was announced on SmackDown this week. Eve versus Layla versus Caitlyn. Now, usually I would say I don't really care about Divas matches. I don't really care about this match too much per se, but at least they've tried. They did the whole thing of last pay-per-view with Eve attacking Caitlyn. Now we found out who it is. Layla's in the number 1 contendership spot after she lost her title. So this actually has a little bit of story around it.
Let me just narrow this down. Eve, she's got a part, she's still a diva, but she's also a part of the GM role stuff. Layla I used to really like, but right now She's still floating about, but she's not as great as she used to be. And Caitlyn, yes, they're using a diva they wouldn't normally use, so that's the positive. But again, as much as this has build, I don't care.
And that is exactly it. I wasn't saying I didn't care about it. I was just saying it has actually had some build, but I just it's hard for me to care about the Divas division out of the just due to the amount of bad booking it's bad and how little it seems like WWE actually cares about the Divas division. So we'll move on to...
But I did notice you with the blonde hair, Dan. You had a blonde wig in your bag. What the hell are you doing, Dan?
Well, do you know what I saw on your iPad?
My iPad.
Convincing footage of you attacking someone and with your blonde wig on.
Oh, I saw the same with you!
We both have iPads! How come I didn't know about this? Why didn't you tell me you had an iPad? Jesus Christ, this is the lack of communication we have sometimes. You have an iPad, I have an iPad. Hey, we're best friends again, aren't we?
And we attack divas.
Yeah, we attack.
Yeah,
we're good. We make a great tag team in the WWE, ladies and gentlemen.
Attacking the women.
The Intercontinental Championship match: Kofi Kingston versus Miz. A couple of things we want to address here. First things first, they had Miz and Kofi on free TV twice. Therefore, that kind of negates the whole pay-per-view feel of this match. Secondly, you had Kofi Kingston win the IC Championship at main event, and now he's in line for a singles push. But really, I don't see Kofi going past mid-card. So it's I think they'll put on a pretty good match. But like you said, we've had it too much on free TV, and you know, Kofi winning the IC Championship again. There's really never been much progression for the Kofi Kingston character, has there?
The thing about this, even though I did not agree or totally like how they randomly made this feud happen, because they did on that Leno thing that randomly happened.
Larry King.
Yeah.
I'm going to read off a script. I'm Larry King, and I'm too old to remember lines.
Pretty much. And that was it. At first, I thought this is stupid, randomly done. But then when I just saw that these two were going to have a feud against each other, I thought, go for it. I want to see this. Kofi Kingston, yes, he was in tag a lot. Him still in the mid-card, being a good mid-card performer, I look forward to that. Him against The Miz, a feud I wanted to see, but the fact it's been done so many times already for the championship, instead of waiting a few more weeks for her in the cell, my liking of this match is just like another filler match.
And when you've seen it on free TV twice, and one of them being on essentially a C show that is main event where Kofi Kingston won the championship, you're sitting there like, how why would I care about paying for it to see a match like this? Which is essentially what pay-per-view should be all about. And that is the problem. And we only have the Attitude Era to thank for this. The fact that we have superstar versus superstar on free TV all the damn time to try and get ratings. So when a pay-per-view match comes, it just seems less important. We've seen it many times with people.
But what I've got to say is, if The Miz was right here, he will say this is the must-see match on this pay-per-view, Dan.
Yeah, of course he would. He is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time. More must-see than The Rock, Austin, Hogan, Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, the list goes on, guys. We'll go on to the next match now, which is Del Rio versus Randy Orton in a grudge match, I guess. Your thoughts on... I like the idea of putting Del Rio with Orton in a feud that we haven't really probably seen before, but do you really care about Del Rio right now and the feud with Orton?
The thing is, I really expected Orton to be up in the title scene as soon as he came back. Yes, they're delaying it, but it's going up in the future.
Yes.
Del Rio, I've not really cared for him for some time now. They've tried to make us, like, the whole, we're going to give him aggressive behaviour.
A little girl.
And all that. They've tried to make us like it, but it's not really worked, especially for me. This match, yes, it could be an okay match, but another match I don't really care about.
Yeah, I see Orton going over here. I do see them trying to set up an Orton versus Sheamus match, maybe, unless Ziggler cashes in the Money in the Bank in the whatever championship match later today. Oh, sorry, did I just spoil it? Oh, sorry, people, I just spoiled something that may happen at the pay-per-view before we talked about the match itself. So Del Rio and Orton, I expect Orton to go over here as he usually does. The Del Rio bandwagon has just kind of gone really for me, really.
And that's the thing, because with this match, Orton's expected to win most of his matches. If Del Rio gets to win, yes, he's beat someone big, but where does he go from there?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before we go any further, I forgot to say who I thought would win the first two matches.
We did, indeed.
Cesaro, Eve, Kofi, Orton.
I'd say, if I went down, I'd say Cesaro, even though I love Gabriel. Divas match I don't care about. I'm split between Layla and Eve, but I'll go with Eve too. I don't see Miz getting it back, not this soon. No. And this one, I want to say Del Rio Smalley, but Orton is not going to put Del Rio over.
Yes, then we go on to the Tag Team Championship match, which has had a lot of build. It's had a tournament. The Team Hell No storyline has been progressing very well. Team Rhodes Scholars was put together, which is a very good tag team. I am very interested in seeing this tag team match. The way they build it up has been very good. It's been very Triple H-esque, so to speak.
Because the thing with the tournament, the thing I like about the tournament is, yes, it had the two newish popular tag teams there. Like, because of Ray's stomach bug, whatever he had, it prevented us to believe that he was actually going to go through and help Sin Cara get into an important match in his career. So I do think they've gone down the right path. But I don't believe that... You've got these two tag teams here. They're only temporary tag teams. Both of them are. So as much as the tag team has a good match here at Hell in a Cell, it's temporary. If I had to pick a winner, it's hard because, like, Daniel Bryan and Kane, they need to have a bit more story behind it, a bit more reason to want to fall out and fight against each other. But you've also got this new tag team who need to be big in their careers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm torn on it as well. I mean, I'm really interested in this match. Yes, I know they're only temporary tag teams, but at least we've had a built-up tag team match on a pay-per-view, and we've had we had 8 tag teams in a damn tournament, which is, when was the last time we could say that about WWE? So the team Rhodes Scholars, Cody Rhodes and Sandow, I love that tag team. Team Hell No has been very entertaining. I don't really care who goes over here. If Kane and Daniel Bryan go over, fair dues. If Rhodes Scholars goes over here, fine, fair dues. I really don't care who goes over here, to be honest.
I don't care who wins, even though I'm more of a Rhodes Scholars liking over Daniel Bryan and Kane. But if I had to pick one, I think this feud could go on for more than just Hell in a Cell.
And hopefully it does. And when I said I didn't care who wins, I meant in the sense that whoever wins will be fine, basically. I do wonder also, do you reckon they'll do a Rey Sin Cara versus Primetime Players filler tag team match? They kind of hinted at it.
That's what I was going to say as well. The tournament has not just gave us this match, it also gave us, like, the Primetime Players just coming and randomly attacking. So they hyped up quite a bit here that could go. But I do expect all these, like, Rey and Sin Cara, Team Hell No, and Rhodes Scholars, they're all going to pair up, probably face against each other, just something. I expect something big to happen to those 3 tag teams. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with these.
You never know, NJ. For the first time in quite some time, we might have 2 tag team matches on a WWE pay-per-view. Imagine that. Like the equivalent of TNA having 2 X Division matches. The World Heavyweight Championship match. Sheamus versus Big Show. Let me say this first before we go into this. I was a massive fan of putting Big Show against Sheamus. I thought it was such a logical feud in the sense that you could book Big Show very strong over a guy like Sheamus, then he could look vulnerable. The WWE didn't see it that way, though, did they? They wanted to make Sheamus look as strong and as protected as possible in this feud.
The only thing I want to say about this is that, yes, they've made Sheamus look almost untouchable compared to Big Show. Big Show's done a few moves, but not enough to make us believe that Big Show's going to be a dominant monster in this match. And that's the thing about Big Show. For a while now, his character's gone from being this big, dominant, relying, work with McMahons, to this face, to this trying to be a heel character. And Sheamus is staying as this unbeatable, not many people like him anymore character.
It's funny, the YWC, and I think a lot of people were behind the Sheamus babyface push, and I was too, because it made a new star for the company, essentially, and Sheamus down the line. But, man, my God, they've made Sheamus look untouchable, and like you said, it's just decreasing your interest in the Sheamus character. Do you think anyone other than Sheamus is going to win this match? And if Big Show wins, I see Ziggler cashing in Money in the Bank, because he's not in a feud, so it'd make sense a little bit, wouldn't it?
It'll be the second time where Big Show's won the championship and quickly lost it, but I see Big Show being the guy who the WWE have tried to build up, looking like, I can knock you out so easily. But I see Sheamus probably getting the win, but Big Show to maybe knock Sheamus out, and Ziggler, because Ziggler's got to take advantage of which is not Hell in a Cell, but the advantage you've got Big Show, who's meant to be booked as a dominant knockout guy, and then Ziggler to take the advantage of getting the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, so you've got 2 scenarios there. Either Sheamus wins clean, or Show gets the victory with a knockout punch, or attacks Sheamus afterwards, and then Ziggler cashes in the Money in the Bank.
I really don't see Show getting another short title, but that's just me.
Yeah, who really knows? We'll move on to the main event now. Before we go on to the main event, though, we do want to direct you to a video we did on Wednesday. We talked about who should win at Hell in a Cell. Should it be CM Punk or Ryback? It was a very interesting discussion between me and NJ. Very, very contrasting views. We recommend you check that out as well if you're watching this preview. I'll link it down in the description box below. So the WWE Championship match, from what we've seen, the only announced Hell in a Cell match between Ryback and CM Punk. You know, it was supposed to be Cena versus Punk, and then Cena got injured, and they put Ryback in this spot. A lot of people have been saying that it's too early for Ryback, and yes, it may be too early for Ryback, but I guess my question would be, who else could have filled that spot, and how much does it show you that WWE are relying so much on John Cena?
That's the thing. For many years now, the WWE have dug a deep hole because they've been concentrating on Cena for so long, and every wrestler they've tried to push, they've not followed it through. They've always slipped up somehow. So I think the fact that they're having to use Ryback to fill up Cena's slot is, as much as fans I noticed in the Raw review did bash him a lot.
Yeah.
I see why, because to be honest, they have rushed to this point. But you only have the WWE to blame, not Ryback, not Punk, not Cena's injury, which quite surprised Superman got injured. But yeah.
I mean, Ryback versus Punk, let's put it this way. It's a fresh match. I know Ryback isn't ready for this spot yet, but it's a fresh match. The Ryback character has been somewhat, I mean, for me personally, has been somewhat interesting. I mean, the guy has been booked very, very strongly. To me, he is the most legit competitor to CM Punk's championship yet. The way he's been booked, a lot of people, and I know a lot of people out there like CM Punk, but I think a lot of people out there may think that Ryback could actually win this match. And I think you talked earlier, and we talked about this in the Wednesday video, you talked earlier about guys that kind of had their push and the rug yanked from underneath them. Well, do you think that WWE will pull the rug from underneath Ryback, or do you think they'll have a DQ finish? Or, well, they can't really have a DQ finish, but like an interference?
Well, my two scenarios to this match, I could have said this for the Ryback Punk video we did, but this is the best time to do it. My two ways. Number one is there's three possible ways. Ryback to lose clean to CM Punk. Or we have Brock Lesnar. Here's the two ways. He can either screw Punk and then have a feud with Punk versus Lesnar, blah, blah, blah. Or he screws Ryback to give Punk the win. Yeah,
I mean, in my opinion, it'll be very interesting to see how Vince McMahon books this, because we know Vince McMahon is a very, very big fan of Ryback, and we know that if he had the chance, he probably would put the belt on him. But you have that big storyline with CM Punk and The Rock going for a Royal Rumble, and then possibly maybe into WrestleMania with a John Cena in there. So the question is, does Vince McMahon want to give Ryback his first loss at a pay-per-view at the first time of asking, or fill a first WWE Championship shot? Or does he want to further along this Punk and Rock angle, which could draw them a lot of money in the future? It's a difficult decision for Vince, because Ryback so far has been the only guy, in my opinion, for the last couple of years that has actually looked like he could go all the way to the top.
To be totally honest, yes, I've gave my rundown on how this match could end. What I'm going to say is I would not give the belt to Ryback on Hell in a Cell for not one reason only, but one reason I just thought of now is it's a filler pay-per-view. Maybe not many people are going to pay to tune in to watch it.
We get it for free in England.
Another point. And plus, it's like Cesaro went on pre-show. You don't really want to give Ryback on a pay-per-view that maybe not everyone's going to tune into watching.
And I do agree with you that you do want to give him a big win. I was thinking build him up to WrestleMania 30, have him winning the main event of WrestleMania 30 after winning the Royal Rumble or something. So there are so many different arguments to this. We did a video on Wednesday, and we just want to get... I guess we should just put it out to you guys. I personally think that it's going to be some kind of screwy finish, because I can't see Ryback losing, but I can't see CM Punk losing either, for various different reasons. So I kind of think there'll be some kind of screwy finish that'll either make Ryback lose or Punk will walk out or something. I don't really know. That's what I mean. It'll be very interesting, if nothing else, how Vince McMahon decides to book this match with the two conflicting arguments there.
I'm expecting, like I've said from a while now, the fact that Lesnar's going to come back, Heyman is a Lesnar guy as well as a Punk guy. Yes. I'm expecting this to be the point where, as it's going to be the main event, there's going to be this big send-off point that's going to lead us onto the build to Royal Rumble.
And to Royal Rumble, and possibly even Survivor Series as well. We've got to remember, this is the filler pay-per-view before Survivor Series, so hopefully we'll get some kind of Survivor Series early hints here like we did last year, but we'll see that on the pay-per-view. So yes, guys, that's been our thoughts on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. We'd like to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below on this pay-per-view. It could be a good show. I guess there's some good matches on there wrestling-wise, but I guess the question is, we're not really excited for many of the matches, and will they deliver from a storyline standpoint? I guess that is the big question for this filler pay-per-view.
And my question is, well, two questions, should I say. Number one, are you looking forward to this pay-per-view? And number one, if you had to pick one, which match are you most looking forward to watching?
Tag Team Championship match. But anyway, give us your thoughts in the comment section below. NJ will now provide you with a very witty outro, as he usually does.
Thank you very much, people. We've been in Hell in a Cell before. It's not a very good place, but till next time, YouTubers, thank you very much. Enjoy the pay-per-view and goodbye.